Hello, everybody, and welcome to this 5-day series that I'm doing. I'm Gustavo Tolosa, the plant-powered pianist. Okay, and I enjoy helping people find their own way to make this wonderful way of eating a whole food plant-based diet work, because sometimes we look at other people's successes and that's great, we can always learn, but we have to be able to come up and to find out within ourselves what works for us. And I really enjoy doing that. And that is what we do in our 7-day program that later on, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, I'll just talk a little bit about that in case you wanted to join me there. So today I am going to, okay, I am going to, oops, let's see, somebody else wants to get in. Okay, I'm going to read some of the comments or questions that some of you posted in YouTube. If you don't mind and have a minute, when I post the video on my YouTube channel, which I hope you've subscribed to it because I'm trying to get to 1 million. It's a joke. I probably need another 10 years or so, but I'm trying to get more people to subscribe. If you subscribe to it and watch the video, if you don't mind giving it a thumbs up, it helps with all of the algorithms, whatever they do, so that the video or my channel will be shown to others. And also, any kind of comment makes my video more popular. So even if it is a nice video, whatever you want to put there, that would help. So I'm going to read a few here and make an answer or make a comment on some of these because I don't want to ignore them. I do answer. So when you type, but sometimes I like to expand a little more. So one of you, okay, let's see. One of you say, sorry, I'm just trying to let everybody in. Okay. One of you say, what helped me the most was to stop buying all the new cookbooks that plant-based people keep, putting out. All I need is a handful of recipes to help me stay on the path to health. The more new recipes that I try, the more weight loss plateau I experience. So I want to comment on that one because like I said in the first video, session 1, some of us have this hobby, I guess we could call it, or maybe even an addiction of keep buying books and magazines and bundles, things like that for more and more recipes. I just like to see the pictures. I like to see. Sometimes I get good ideas and I try them. Most of the time, I don't make any of them, of the recipes, but every now and then I do. So what you say here, I don't have any of the names. What you said here is true, actually. It's been proved that the more variety that we have, the more likely we are to overeat or to eat when we're not hungry. And, we could have, I don't know, in the past, if you've been to some banquet or something, party, and you've eaten and you're really full, and then somebody comes up with, oh, look, here's a cheesecake or another cake. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I want a piece. All of a sudden you're hungry again. Just why? Because it is something different, okay? There's more variety. So when we eat in a boring way, okay, boring, I mean, we don't eat boring, okay, because we have so much variety. But if you were to cook 2 or 3 recipes a day and every day is new, you would be eating more, I promise you. Just because you want to try, not because you're hungry. And remember that part of what we need to learn as time goes by is really learning when we're really hungry. Most of us, thank goodness, we have not experienced real starvation or real hunger. Sometimes, well, I have, because I go to True North every now and then, and I do fasting. And then when you eat a plain steamed zucchini, it tastes like you're eating this incredible, amazing, dish, and it's just plain zucchini. But when you're really hungry, it tastes great. Okay, so I agree with you. Now, having written a new book, okay, or my first book with Shayda, of course, you may wonder, well, if you're saying that we need to focus on meal ideas and not so much on recipes, then why did you write a book? Well, there is a reason. Later, I can tell you. It's just sometimes we have these goals in our lives, and one of those goals in my life and Shayda's life was to write a book. And so I will tell you why we did that. How long do you fast for there? Actually, I like to try new things, okay? So that I can say that I did it, and if I like it, I keep doing it. And if I don't, then I can at least say why I don't keep doing it. So most people that go to True North fast because they are dealing with serious health issue, and that can be actually reversed. And thank goodness, so far I don't have a serious health issue, but fasting can regenerates your cells, and it has so many benefits that I won't go into it right now. But I did it for that. It also accelerates your weight loss. And in my 7-day program, we do try a mini fast. So if you've never done a fast and you want to do a mini fast that is safe, and that we do it with Dr. Goldhammer's, advice, and can be done by virtually everybody, then that would be something that, you want to try. But I did it just because I wanted to try it. It's not the most pleasant experience for me because I produce a lot of stomach acid. And so sometimes it's a little painful, and they have to do what is called they kind of change the fasting just a little bit to fit each person's needs. But it is good. It is good to try it. And I know that if I ever am dealing with something more serious, I will definitely consider doing long fasts. Long fasts are supposed to be medically supervised. An overnight fast, like we do in the 7-day program, is fine. It's safe. You don't have to be medically supervised. But otherwise, I would not try a fast that is longer than like a day or so. Okay, so that was one comment. Yes. Somebody else says, yes, me too. I fall off, but get back on more quickly now. The longer I eat this way, 8 years, the better I get at choosing healthier options, even when I am in falling off mode. Okay, so very good comment, because as long as we don't give up, and remember, giving up isn't up. I don't think it is an option, because you're saying that you're giving up on your health, and health is the only valuable thing we have, because without health, we can virtually do nothing. So the option of giving up doesn't exist. But what you're saying here is that as we keep on this journey, with a few times that has ups and downs and some turbulence at times, but if you stay gradually you get better and you notice how you get back on quicker. And I told you that the best thing to do is to have in your mind, if you ever fall off the wagon, is to say, my next bite is going to be compliant. My next bite is going to be a tangerine. My next bite is going to be, some beans. My next bite is some leftover, oatmeal, whatever. But you get back on immediately. You don't continue ruining the rest of the day because you had a little fall. All right, another comment. You have lost all your weight, but I have never in my adult life been a normal BMI. Okay, let me stop there. I don't know what a normal BMI is. Personal. This is my personal opinion. Those charts with BMI, I don't know. Okay. I think that we're lumping together a lot of different types of bodies and bones and people. And if I weighed what the BMI is in those charts, I would look more like a skeleton. And so even I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's basically. But I want to get as close to it, and I don't want to constantly suffer every day trying to restrain my calories or my eating, because then it's not fun. And if it's not fun, it's hard to do. So, okay, going on and off this way of eating is very hard on the head. I know it's exhausting when you're constantly, okay, I got off, I got on, should I eat this, should I eat that? Maybe if I eat a little of this, and maybe if I eat a little bit of that, oh, it's just one time, Okay, it is exhausting mentally. It's better to not even have those options. But you say, it makes me feel like a failure. I want to have this light bulb. I want to have the light bulb moments that others have, but I'm not there yet. Okay, you're not there yet. I wasn't there yet. I just recently, I have light bulb moments often. I'm not going to say every day or every week, but just recently I had one, and it took basically 11 years. Okay, so again, stay on this path, and sooner or later it will happen. And if you're part of a group, and the person that wrote this, I know, and she's part of this wonderful group that I have, this will happen. I know we all want it to be yesterday because we're impatient, but let's be patient. We spend a lifetime creating addictions and ruining our bodies with all these poisons that we ate. And so now it's going to take a little while to undo all that. I appreciate all the information you provide through YouTube, said somebody else. I've particularly enjoyed your book clubs. Looking forward to more. Thank you. I loved doing the book club. I started that during the pandemic when we all thought we were going to go crazy. And so I started the book club online, and it was live like this through Zoom. And I would choose a book. I would announce it. You would get your book, and I would announce which chapters we would read each day. And if there was any kind of little homework, and I would do cooking demos, and I would have guests. And I did many. And all of those book clubs are in my YouTube channel, okay, in a folder. You just have to look in playlists, and you'll find them. They're very valuable. And I did one a few months ago. Now I don't do them so often, but soon I will do one. And so if you're in my email list, you will get the announcement. It was free. And again, it was another way to find support, because we would meet either every day during a period of 10 days, or we would meet once a week for like 6 weeks until we were done with the book. Okay, and one more comment from you, from somebody else, weight also applies to food. You need to ingest a certain amount of weight to satisfy the biome. If all your weight comes in, if all your weight coming in is treats, then you will have the shape of cakes and cookies. I thought that was funny, but it's kind of actually true. If the weight is greens and starches and whole grains day after day, you will be able to control your weight effortlessly and move on to a living life. Okay, I'll put a little pause there because it is virtually true. For some people, it's never effortlessly. Okay, some people have genetics, and we're learning more and more that genetics, unfortunately, for some of us, make a big, huge difference. Still, we're not stuck with that. We're not victims. We can, but we are more likely to maybe gain weight or to be addicted to some foods than others because of genetics. So when I put the weight in, there is no room for things that will make me gain weight. You can't outrun a bad diet, and you can't starve yourself thin. Very true. 100%. Okay. So what I want to mention here is that according to the research that we have so far, most human beings, and I mean like really like most, the majority, will eat 3 pounds of food a day, like you were saying. And yeah, there are very, very rare exceptions of people that will eat, double that. I mean, it's rare, but most of us will be in the 2 to 4 pounds of food a day. And if you weigh your food every day, you will find that that's true. Now, here is where it makes a huge difference. If you eat 3 pounds of high calorie density food and high fat food, it's going to make you obviously gain fat. Like Dr. McDougall used to say, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. If you eat low calorie density and low fat foods and you eat your 3 to 3.5 pounds, you will be calorie deficient, which is great. Okay, if you're trying to lose weight, you do want to be calorie deficient, but you are nutrient, full. Okay, you're not deficient in nutrients and in energy and in water and fiber and nutrients. But we want that. We want to have all of that. Well, if you're trying to lose weight, of course you want to be under what the calories that you're burning a day to lose the weight. Okay, so great comments. Keep them coming, and then I can make a little comments as well. Okay, so I thought that it would be fun today to, this is a video that is not on YouTube. It's about 7 minutes long, but I want to show it to you because it's a very easy and filling soup that you can have. And for lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever you like, but it contains greens, and I am obsessed with greens, like Dr. Esselstyn is, because we want to have our 5 to 6 servings of greens. And remember, a serving is little. I mean, it's the palm of your hand. It's not much, but you need to bathe your endothelium 5 to 6 times a day. You need to bathe it. The endothelium is the lining of your arteries, because if it's constantly getting the nitric oxide, it will heal any damage that your arteries have. So this is one way to get your greens. You can, anything you eat, you can just put some greens. If it's oats, put some greens. If it's soup, put some greens. If it's pasta, put some greens. I mean, you can eat greens easily 5 or 6 times a day. So I want to show you this one. This soup does have starch. So you have the starch, you have the water, you have the fiber, you have the greens. It's a great addition to your list, maybe, of recipes. If you want to get paper, a pen and paper, and write it down, it's not going to go in my YouTube. Well, I guess it's going to be in my YouTube channel now because it's going to be here. But to write it down, it's very, very simple, just a few ingredients. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and share my screen and get started. Oh, I forgot. I need to take off my earbuds here because otherwise you won't hear anything. Hold on just a second. Let me take them off. Okay, so this is the barley, beans, and kale soup. Lots of energy. So you're going to start with one small onion chopped, and you're going to saute for like 2 or 3 minutes. It's just so that it's not totally raw. And then you're going to put 2 cloves of garlic minced. You can make this in a regular pot. Actually, that's what I usually do. I just do it on the stove on a regular just pot. Okay? But in this case, this is high pressure cooker. And then once it's barely cooked, okay, we're going to add 3.5 cups of water and 2 cups of vegetable broth. So you have 3.5 cups of liquid, right? Then here comes the pearl barley, 1/2 cup of barley. Barley is very healthy, has a lot of fiber, it gives a lot of energy. And then 1/2 tablespoon of crushed red pepper. Mix it really well. And then we're going to cook the barley because the barley takes a good amount of time to cook. In a pressure cooker, it's going to be about 25 minutes. On a regular stove, it's going to take more like 50 minutes or so. You just have to check it to make sure that it's soft, okay? That it's not crunchy. And at that point, you're going to add a can of cannellini beans or any kind of white beans, or for that matter, any bean, any kind of bean, okay? And then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of miso, okay? I don't buy cans of beans. I cook my own beans because beans are cooked inside the cans at a very high temperature, and you could be ingesting a lot of metal. So I stopped buying canned beans. I cook my own. You want to cook this for about 5 minutes, okay? So it's not very long. It's probably 15 minutes on the regular stove. And then once that's done, okay, you'll just open it and we'll add the last few things. And this is where the greens come. This is 4 cups of chopped dinosaur kale. You can use rhinoceros, you can use elephant, you can use, no, just kidding. There is none of those types, but just, this is dinosaur, okay? It's more rugged. And let's see. It could be another green. It doesn't have to be kale. You're going to cook this for 5 more minutes because the dinosaur kale is kind of tough. So you want it to be soft. And that's basically it. The only thing we're going to add to this is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, or if you like lime juice, you can use lime. I'm just going to go with 1 tablespoon. And then add any other sauce, like the sriracha sauce, which is really spicy, and I usually don't use it, or you can just put pepper, okay, to taste. So we're going to serve it here in a bowl, and I don't add any pepper or any hot sauce on the pot, in the pot. I think it's better if everybody adds their own according to their taste. I can't do very hot food, spicy hot, so mine is usually kind of with almost nothing. So well, that's what it looks like. Very filling and delicious. And if you have any cannellini beans left over, which I did, okay, because I always make more than just for one meal, then I'm going to show you what you can do with the rest here. You can, I had 2 cups and 1/3. This is not a precise recipe, it's a meal idea. So if you have 2.5 cups, you can do that, you can do less, you can do more. About 2, I had about 2 cups left. And then I had some parsley here that I chopped, and it could be cilantro if you like cilantro, but in this case, it is parsley. Parsley falls under one of the greens that we can eat for nitric oxide, and I put about 1/2 cup or so, however much you like the taste of parsley. If you like less, put less. And the only other ingredients, there are 3 ingredients, is, well, I had some lemon juice left, so I'm going to add that, but probably needs 2 tablespoons, not 1 tablespoon. And then I'm going to add chopped raw garlic. Garlic has so many incredible health benefits. I think we should be eating garlic daily, and I pretty much do in almost every meal. And then you can use anything. I just had chipotle chili powder, and I have to be very careful because this is very hot. And actually, I put too much. But if not, you can use Mrs. Dash. You can use Benson's Table Tasty. You can use any kind of herb or spice that you like, and you mix it, and that is it. Okay, that's another side dish that you can have with any meal, or you can actually put some of this in a salad, okay, so that your salad will have some starch. I just used it because I had it left over. So that's it. I hope you will try one of those. Hold on, let me get this out here. All right. Okay. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about, I do want to tell you a little bit about why Shayda and I decided to write this book. Shayda, we noticed that a lot of the cookbooks are pretty much recipes. And we thought we had something really unique and special, because if we wrote a book together, it would be from the perspective of a woman and a man. Most of the cookbooks are written by women. So we thought that would be unusual. And the other thing that would be unusual is that even though we both live in the US, now I'm going back and forth and don't live all the time in the US or all the time in Argentina. But we both came from different countries. She was born in Switzerland, but lived in Iran, and I was born in Argentina. We both ended up in the US, that became our home. Shayda in California, I in Texas. And at one point, about 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, we met, and we became instant friends, like brothers and sisters, and clicked and did many webinars and cooking demos. And throughout those years, the idea came up of writing a book that would combine recipes that come from our mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers, and from ethnic food from other countries. And also we would include food from the US, food from Mexico, food from Italy, because I have Italian influence, and different types. So it would be really an international cookbook. And we thought that we had interesting stories to tell of our struggles. And so the first part of the book is really a storybook where we tell our stories. And as we tell our stories, we also share some of our most common, I guess, or recipes that go with the story. So if I'm talking about how I came home from school and my grandmother was making polenta, then you get the polenta recipe, things like that. So it's a fun book. Dr. Lyle, Dr. Goldhammer, Dr. McDougall, Chef AJ, they all reviewed our book and gave us such good comments. And so we were humbled, really, by all of these. We have endorsements from Dr. Barnard, Hans Deal, Goldhammer, Tammy Kramer, Dr. Clapper, Dr. Barnard, I said it already, Dr. McDougall, John Pierre, Dr. Lyle, Catherine Lawrence. So anyway, that's how it came about. And then the second part of the book does have recipes, and we try to have a good balance of mostly simple, easy recipes. And then, of course, from time to time, for some special occasions, or if you want to show off a little, if you have people over, or if you're going to a potluck or a party, you want to make something that you can say, hey, eating whole food plant-based is not that boring. Look at this. And so that's why you have some of these recipes that are a little more elaborate. So that's the reason that we wrote the book, and that we hope you'll get it. Most of the things that Shayda does and that I do on the internet are free. We don't charge for anything. Shayda has her own business, and I myself, this is how I earn my living, is doing these kind of programs. So we will appreciate it if you haven't gotten our book, that you will support us by buying our book. It's on Amazon, and it's called Live Your Healthiest Life. And you can go to Amazon.com and type my name or Shayda's name or the title of the book, and it will appear. Okay. But let me tell you, we didn't really plan it this way, but we ended up with most of Shayda's rice recipes that are totally unique. They're all Persian rice recipes, delicious. I've tried all of them. They all ended up not being, we couldn't include it in the book. We just ran out of room. So those 5 recipes from Persian rice, they are in the bonus PDF that is beautifully designed, I have to say, by a friend of mine. And my grandmother's desserts, which are also delicious, they couldn't be in the book also because of lack of room. So they're in the bonus. And so you have 10 recipes in this bonus PDF. Once you get the book, send us the proof of purchase to this email that I'm putting on the screen, LYHLbonus@yahoo.com, and you'll get that. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify and say why we wrote the book. All right, any of you have any questions that you want to type here, or if you want to unmute? Remember that if you unmute and your camera is on, you will be seen. Okay, so if you don't want that, then either turn off your camera and then your voice will be heard only. Or if you don't want your voice or your image, then you can type. Okay, go ahead. I thought I saw somebody that had the microphone on. That's why I paused. Okay. Any questions about the meal ideas? Any questions about any of the strategies, anything? Okay. No? Okay. Well, I do hope that you will try. Yesterday was a packed session because I pretty much showed you everything that I eat on a regular basis. And it doesn't take much time to make it. So one of you says, how do you overcome sugar cravings, especially chocolate? Remember that this way of eating is, number one, is varied, it's delicious, it's healthy. But if it was easy, everybody would do it and everybody would be thin and healthy. The truth is that it's not that easy because we live in the wrong environment. Okay. And by that, I mean the world as it is today is not made for people who want to eat healthy. We are totally surrounded anywhere we go. Even if you want to go put gas in your car, I mean, inside the gas station, you have, candies and all sort of things. So it's getting rid of some of these cravings. Sometimes it's not easy, but if you stay and you don't give up, you will do it. I used to have a sugar addiction. I don't have it anymore, and that is so freeing. It didn't happen overnight. It happened through time as my taste buds changed. So one of my secrets, okay, I'm going to tell you now, is that at the beginning of my journey, I would buy all sorts of sweet potatoes because I really didn't know which one I liked. And so if you go to a market like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or some other market that have variety, you'll find 5-6 different types of sweet potatoes. So I tried them until I found that the regular yams that are orange and the Hana sweet potato, which is so creamy and it tastes like vanilla and sometimes it's even too sweet. Those were the things that just stopped my cravings instantly. So I would have those at night. I would bake sweet potatoes in the afternoon when I also wanted a snack. So I would have sweet potatoes roasted all the time in my refrigerator or in the oven. I never run out of them. You want to roast sweet potatoes. Roasting means that you cook them at high heat in the oven, like 450, okay, or so. And you wait. Don't take them out too soon because then they don't release all the sugar that you want. Once the sugar is coming out of them, like caramel, then it's done. You take them out and you can cut them in slices, put a little bit of cinnamon on them, but usually they're so sweet, they have so much water and fiber that is a way to get rid of sugar addiction. Just have enough already cooked in, like I said, they will last outside, like in the kitchen for a couple of days, and then you can put them in the refrigerator. They're great to put in Ziploc bags and take them with you in the car. If you need a little bit of extra sweetness, you can have a little bit of maple syrup drizzled on it until you can give that up. Also, just fruit, bananas, any fruit that is really sweet, you can have. And this is just so that until your taste buds start to change, and you will be able to let it go. Chocolate is another is one of the foods that is most highly addictive together with cheese. So it's again, it just takes a while. Find ways to there's carob, which is something that tastes like chocolate, but it's not chocolate. And you can, once you get these sweet potatoes really soft, you can put them in a blender with a little bit of carob powder, maybe a little bit of maple syrup. If the sweet potato is not sweet enough for you, you can put it in a blender and it'll come out to like this creamy chocolate mousse. So those are things that can help you for a time until you feel like you don't need it anymore. Okay. So those are some of the things that worked for me. But since we're in this wonderful group, if anybody else has other ideas, I mean, I love learning with, from each of our, from ourselves. So if any of you has any, isn't raw cocoa compliant? Yes, it is. So I used to put cocoa powder in this sweet potatoes in a blender. It's just that it's a little higher in fat. So put enough that will give the flavor that you want, but don't go crazy with it. But yes, that would work as well. Okay. Let's see other comments here. I have your recipe book. Okay, thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Are there replays of these videos? Yes, they all go to my YouTube channel. So make sure that you go there, please. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type my name, Gustavo Tolosa, or type Plantemus, Plantemus, and you'll get to my channel. And once you're there, if you click on subscribe, it's free. And then if you click on the little notification bell, you will always get a little notice when I upload a new video. So they're all there. Go ahead and go and look at those. Okay, another comment there. Is there a substitute you recommend for Benson's Table Tasty? It's one of the best, okay? So I have to admit that. But Mrs. Dash is good. It's a good one. I do have others, and so I'm going to make a note because it would take too long right now for me to find them in my computer. But tomorrow I'll show you the others that that you can get. The cravings really go away after a few days if you eat enough starch. Yeah. Although it depends on how much addiction to sugar you have. Okay. This is when we have to tailor things to your own, to your own lifestyle. Okay, how do you deal with people coming into your home with uncompliant food? Well, that is a hard one, okay? That's it requires a type of personality, and some of us who are people pleasers have a hard time with that. Chef AJ would say, basically, don't come into my house. Basically, eat it and then come, okay? So can you do that? Can you? All you can do is have a really heartfelt conversation with them and tell them how much you are, how much you're suffering in a way, and struggling with this, and ask them to please, even if it's for a while, to not bring it, because you suffer from an addiction, much like alcohol or cigarette or some kind of drug. You can compare it to that, and you really need them to help you. I don't know. There are different wordings that you can use, and other than that, if you know they're coming with that, make sure that you are stuffed okay, that you eat a lot of sweet potatoes or any starch, or be really full, and see if that works. But it is difficult. I'm not gonna say that sweet potatoes, 500 degrees for 1 hour works for me. Yeah, yeah. It all depends, also on the size of the sweet potatoes and the type of sweet potato. But you're right. That's about it. Can you freeze sweet potato dishes like the ones you mentioned yesterday? Can you freeze the potato dishes like the one you mentioned yesterday? Well, I don't know, because they never last that long in my house. Okay. And so all I can tell you is that they last the potato supreme lasts in the refrigerator for about 3 days or so, maybe 4, but I've never had to freeze it. So if any of you here have frozen it before, please write it down. Pineapple works very well for me, Judy says, and I know Judy. Hello, Judy. Dates as well. Thank you for reminding me of that. I have dates in my kitchen. Again, I'm for dry fruits and nuts and seeds. I don't have an issue, so I can have them, but I wouldn't have them if I was addicted to them. But for me, also, besides the sweet potatoes, just eating 1 or 2 dates, which have water and fiber, okay, is all I need to satisfy my sweet tooth. So thank you for reminding me of that. That's really good. I find chocolate now tastes waxy, and I do not like the taste. Yeah, the taste buds do change. They reconfigure. You just have to give them time. Okay. I use cacao nibs for my chocolate fix, or raw cocoa blended with a cooked sweet potatoes. It's delicious. Yeah. Okay. I add cocoa to my homemade soy yogurt to make pudding. You see, we all have different things that we have figured out for ourselves. And I can tell you that some of these things I probably wouldn't, they would not have worked for me, because I would have eaten a lot of. So, but that's what we're here for. We're here to learn what works for us. Okay. I went to a gathering today where the host asked each of us to bring a dish. I took a pasta salad loaded with veggies, but others brought fried chicken, mayonnaise-filled potato salad. I was so proud. I scanned the table and I ate my pasta salad and melons. Soon, you will look at those things and you will see heart disease, heart attack. You will look at the food and you will see diabetes and cancer, and you will see pus, and you will see antibiotics, and you will see all sorts of nasty things that you learn with time. And you may attempt to reach, and then you're like, oh no, do I really want to put that in my body? And you don't. Okay, so that's how it happens through time. The last day, which is Saturday, I will give you all a very generous gift. So please come to the last session, or make sure you watch the replay. It is going to be a gift. I think you might like it. And I think that's all I have to say for today. Any other final comments or questions?
Gustavo, I just have a quick question. Where would you say most of your recipes are? Are they on your YouTube channel, or some in your book, or a little bit of both? What would you say?
Yeah.
I really want that polenta recipe, the one that looked like, I don't think it was, I'm sure it wasn't cheese on the top, but it looked like that. You had a picture of 2 polenta dishes side by side. One had the olives, and I like the one that was on the left. Yeah, okay. I'm looking for that.
Okay. Those are in my YouTube channel. So let me see that. I'm going to look myself. I don't know how many polenta versions I uploaded, but let me look at that, and then tomorrow I'll tell you, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, my YouTube channel has most of the recipes. And then on my website, which is this here, plantemas.com, there is a section for recipes, okay? And I also have quite a bit, quite a few in my Facebook page. That is, if you have Facebook, and it's Dr. Starch, okay? And you have to spell the word doctor, and you can see that. But it's in YouTube. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about another interesting topic. I hope that you have a very compliant day. Okay. Think that we are here in a group where we're all pulling together. We're all have the same goals, and maybe that'll give you the strength to stay on track. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.